Hi friends, welcome to MindThryve, where your story of growth begins. Let's start today's story.
The train was leaving in 3 minutes. Raghav stood on platform 6 staring at a single ticket. Around him, hundreds of people were moving. Some were rushing, some were laughing, some were saying goodbye. Everyone seemed to know where they were going. Everyone except him. He looked at the ticket again. Bangalore, a new city, a new job, a new beginning. For most people, it was just a train ticket. For Raghav, it felt like a doorway, because for the last 5 years, he had been living the same life. Same office, same chair, same lunch break, same complaints. Every morning he woke up tired. Every night he slept frustrated. And in between, he told himself the same lie. Things will get better. But they never did. Not because life was against him. Not because he lacked talent. Not because he lacked opportunity. Things never changed because he never changed. And deep down, he knew it. The strange part was that Raghav wasn't lazy. He read self-improvement books. He watched motivational videos. He listened to successful people. He had notebooks full of plans, goals, dreams, strategies. If knowledge alone could change a life, Raghav would have been unstoppable. But knowledge wasn't the problem. Action was. Every dream he had lived only inside his head. Safe, comfortable, untested. The train announcement echoed across the station. 3 minutes remaining. Raghav sat on a nearby bench. His mind drifted back to a conversation from 2 weeks earlier. He had been sitting in the office cafeteria with his colleague, Mohan. Mohan wasn't smarter than him, wasn't more talented, wasn't more educated. Yet somehow Mohan's life kept moving forward. New opportunities, new experiences, new growth. Meanwhile, Raghav felt stuck. That day he finally asked him, "How do you keep moving forward?" Mohan smiled. Then he asked a question. Have you ever noticed that most people spend years preparing for a life they never actually start? Raghav laughed. At first. Then he stopped. Because the question felt personal. Painfully personal. Mohan continued. Most people think they're waiting for confidence. They're actually waiting for certainty. And certainty never comes. Those words followed Raghav home. 4 days. Maybe because they were true. Every excuse he had ever made sounded reasonable. I need more money first. I need more experience. I need a better plan. I'll start next year. Yet year after year, nothing changed. The excuses changed. The results didn't. 2 minutes remaining. A cold breeze moved through the station. Raghav looked around. An elderly tea seller was arranging cups nearby. The old man had worked at that station for years. Every morning, every evening, always smiling, always calm. For reasons he couldn't explain, Raghav walked over. He bought a cup of tea. Then he asked a question. Can I ask you something? The old man nodded. Why do some people stay stuck for so long? The tea seller smiled gently. Then he pointed toward the railway tracks. What happens if a train never leaves the station? Raghav shrugged. It stays there. The old man nodded. Exactly. Now imagine that train spends years waiting for perfect weather. Perfect passengers. Perfect conditions. What happens? It never leaves. The old man took a sip of tea. Then he said something Raghav would never forget. Most men don't have a motivation problem. They have a departure problem. The words hit him like a wave, because suddenly everything made sense. He wasn't waiting because he lacked ability. He was waiting because leaving felt uncomfortable. And comfort had become an addiction. 1 minute remaining. The final boarding announcement echoed through the station. Raghav felt fear rising inside him. The kind that appears when life demands a decision. Because staying was comfortable. Leaving was uncertain. Staying required no courage. Leaving required all of it. His hands shook. For a moment, he almost walked away. Then something unexpected happened. He imagined himself 10 years older. Same job. Same excuses. The image terrified him. More than failure. More than uncertainty. More than rejection. Because failure hurts. But regret lasts. And in that moment he realized something. The greatest risk wasn't taking the train. The greatest risk was staying exactly where he was. For years he had treated comfort like safety. But comfort wasn't protecting him. It was quietly stealing his future. The doors began to close. Raghav took one deep breath. Then another. Finally, he stepped forward. Not because he felt ready. Not because he felt confident. Not because fear disappeared. He stepped forward because he understood a truth most people learn too late. Action creates confidence. Confidence does not create action. The train doors closed behind him. As the station disappeared into the distance, something inside him changed. Not his circumstances. Not his bank account. Not his skills. His identity. For the first time in years, he was no longer a man waiting. He was a man moving. Months later, life wasn't perfect. He faced challenges, mistakes, failures, difficult days. But he also experienced growth, progress, opportunity, and something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Because movement changes people. Not instantly. Not magically. But gradually. One step at a time. Years later, someone asked him the secret. They expected a productivity hack. A success formula. A morning routine. Instead, he smiled and gave a simple answer. My life changed the day I stopped waiting for certainty. And maybe that's the lesson you need today. Maybe your problem isn't lack of talent. Maybe it isn't lack of opportunity. Maybe it isn't bad luck. Maybe you're simply standing on your own platform, holding your own ticket, waiting for a feeling that will never arrive. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving while fear is still sitting beside you. The train you're waiting for may already be here. The question is simple. Will you board it? Moral. Most men don't stay stuck because they're incapable. They stay stuck because comfort becomes more important than growth. Your life changes the moment your excuses stop making decisions for you.
So, friends, your time matters, your mind matters. Keep choosing growth. If this story moved you, a like or comment means a lot. And if you are new here, welcome to MindThryve. Subscribe and stay inspired.